All right, folks, welcome back. Game number 2, ready to rock and roll.
Time to see if Team Redemption can turn it around. A pretty rocky game 1. They lasted 50-plus minutes, but at no point did it really feel like they were in it with a shot.
Yeah, they never really had control of that game. Nambi, from the beginning, they all farmed them mid-game. They still farmed pretty well. And then at the end, it was Redemption stuck in their base, Navi farming the map and just slowly sieging until they could finally break through with that key pickoff on the Ancient Apparition. So
yeah.
We'll see here how the draft changes up. Navi, again, first ban on the Troll. We talked about it a lot in the first game. They've struggled against that hero earlier in this tournament, and they're not going to let him through this time.
Yeah, I feel like Redemption need to have a more clear game plan of how they're going to take objectives. Be more aggressive in the early to mid game, or if you're going to take a late game like that, have a better plan. At least to not get out farmed as bad as they did. Their late game was okay. You have a TA, a sniper, a teamfight around the tide, but no one got any farm. The Spirit Breaker is such a smart pick as well, making it so difficult for anyone to find farm alone, but
absolutely.
See what Redemption's plan is going to be?
Yeah, very similar bans to last game. Navi doing the exact same thing. They take out the Storm. Redemption, they'll ban out Jug and Shen.
Same as well, I think.
Yeah, this does open up for a Wisp potentially pick, but as we saw last game, totally ignored, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets ignored again in this one.
Yeah, I think Navi are just going to kind of stick with what they've been doing for the most part, and they seem happy with just their kind of standard picks.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. So first pick goes to Navi this go-round. What's your ideal first pick here? I mean, Axe is something they could go for.
Ooh. The Earthshaker, maybe? It seems like one of their stronger just general picks. Fits any of their drafts, any of their play styles. I don't feel like it's anything too crazy, and it doesn't reveal too much of what they're doing.
There it is. It's a hero that they've played a lot this tournament.
All right. And I guess Navi, you got to do Redemption now. Or you could do Navi's second pick. Since we've seen more of Navi,
all right, if Redemption doesn't take
second
Shadow
pick.
Fiend here, I think Navi's going to do the same opener.
Okay.
The Earthshaker Shadow Fiend. It worked last game. It's very safe. There's nothing crazy about it. It's the safe bet. Now, if Redemption take the Shadow Fiend, that's where things get interesting. Redemption, I feel like, is a really hard team to predict how they want to draft. That draft last time, we were hyping up the Bristleback. He ended up getting pretty much ignored. Redemption's definitely been drafting slightly different. And while I'm thinking about it, Parker, before we forget, that last game, the Shadow Fiend ended up getting the Abyssal Blade. That was actually the first time it happened on 6.83, and it's only been picked up once before, according to one of our stats guys, by 566 in 2003. So a pretty rare item pickup there.
That's a long time ago.
It sure was. So Axe, the first pick for Redemption, and a Dazzle. So a pretty standard opener this go-round.
Dazzle's the other pick I thought Navi might consider for like a second pick, especially if SF got taken. But you're going to stick with the SF, feeling good about it here?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I think the only other option is maybe like a Sniper for Dendi for the mid lane, but
yeah, that could work.
I think the SF is much more their normal go-to here.
Yeah.
The Axe Dazzle doesn't really scare the SF that much. When Axe gets a blink, maybe he can put some pressure onto the SF, but
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, we're hearing somebody else sneaking into our broadcasting channel.
Hello?
Not sure what's going on there, but Sniper. It's the Sniper. Okay, so good call, Dave. I guess I'm going to be bested here. No Shadow Fiend.
I mean, I was 50-50 on it.
Yeah, well, those are the top two, though.
I was like, let's throw out another name so I can hedge my bets a bit, you know?
Well, it was a good call nonetheless. Sniper last game, even though he didn't secure the victory, he was one of the heroes that kept Redemption in it as long as they did. Yeah. Because of just how good he is at holding that high ground and just how much damage he can put out from so far away.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, well, Naga Siren Band maybe worried a bit about a DDZ Naga coming into play. Something which Redemption sometimes fall back on, especially when they're under pressure. They're down a game. They say, look, it's his best hero. It's not really a trendy hero, something that fits that well in the metagame, but let's see if we can make it work. And Axe Dazzle, two great heroes for creating that kind of space a Naga would need to farm.
I feel like that's Navi showing a lot of respect to the DDZ Naga, because as you mentioned, it's not really that potent in this metagame, and that's Navi saying, even so, not something we want to deal with here. Vengeful Spirit will be the third ban for Team Redemption. No big surprise there. And great support. I think she was first picked last game by Redemption. Navi, what do you look to ban out here? The Ember Spirit. I wonder if that's a sign that maybe they'll look for another Spirit Breaker.
I think one half of the reason, and then the other half is a bit of a respect ban, something which Lance plays ridiculously well as a safe lane carry. DGZ can play at mid, so I think it's a 50-50 thing. Great against a Spirit Breaker if they want to pick it, and yeah, just really nice redemption hero, one of their better picks.
5
Yep.
seconds remaining.
Redemption thinking about this fourth ban here. Again with this opener from Na'Vi, the Earthshaker plus your good mid carry hero. It's just so open-ended, and you don't even have to put the sniper mid. You could always put him in the safe lane if you find some sort of a better matchup. This is a tricky ban.
Well, we'll see one more ban come out, and as far as Na'Vi heroes go, it's going to be another Brewmaster ban.
Brewmaster again.
A kind of Phobos special from time to time, plays us in the off lane, and we'll see it taken out of the picture.
Yeah, back when he was playing mid, he played it a lot more. Like you said, it's a hero he pulls out sometimes, but I don't know. I would be tempted to ban out the Bristleback if we're going to sound like broken records from last game. Maybe Redemption will look to pick the Bristle here. With the Dazzle Axe already picked up, it could work pretty nicely. Look for a Strength Core lineup, and
10
we'll see.
They may want a gap closer against a sniper, but
Yeah, maybe Centaur could be a slightly better off-lane choice in that.
I like the idea of a Bristleback still, though. I think it's really good. One, either him or Axe takes a safe lane, both, especially the Axe, I feel, with a fast blink. That's one way of possibly approaching the sniper draft, the kind of counterplay. So we'll see what the plan's going to be with this third pick from Redemption. They've got time to think things through here. Curious as to what they go for, if they're going to go for some kind of niche pick, some kind of a pocket strat. The Dazzle Axe opener already suggesting they have a bit of a different plan here in game number 2.
Or they could just not reveal too much and take a Rubik. Always a good pick against an Earthshaker. You get that instant cast Fissure that is hyped up quite a bit, can be quite difficult to deal with. Pretty safe here.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a pretty neutral general pick, and we'll see what Na'Vi get in reply. I don't think the Rubik's really revealed much that's going to change Na'Vi's plan here, so likely Na'Vi just keep going with the kind of picks they wanted to get out of this. Don't know Havos heroes yet. I don't think you want to go the Slack against the Dazzle Axe. There's some just good AoE damage. They've got a lot of good lane control.
Yeah, Axe is one of those heroes that is pretty good against the Slark. You've got your spins that you can still hit him in Shadow Dance if there's some creeps nearby, and even when he goes into that Shadow Dance, you can hit him with the Berserker's Call as well. But Na'Vi, they tend to save that last pick for the Havost hero, so here, either the Phobos or their next support. They could look for something like a Skywrath Mage. Great support duo there with the Earthshaker. Could look for something like a Witch Doctor. Oh, okay, there it is. I was thinking the Maledict can be quite good against the Axe to try and bring him down if he gets tanky.
A good Yol hero. He's been playing Dazzle, Witch Doctor, a lot of these heroes throughout this tournament, so
Yep.
see what that kind of leads into as far as what Havost will be playing for the safe lane. Assuming that Dendi will be on the sniper, it's still possible we see something like a safe lane sniper. We had it last game, could put Dendi on different type of hero for the mid lane, maybe more of a tempo controller, but Redemption now going to have to reveal a bit more about what they've got planned. Pick up another core, either their mid or their carry. Probably Lance or DDZ's hero coming up here with this fourth pick, and this is going to give Na'Vi a much better idea of what Redemption are pulling here in game 2.
Yeah. So outside of the Bristleback Centaur, what are some key heroes that come to mind? I'm really curious how they'll lane the Axe as well. I want to say it's going to be in the safe lane, but could be the off lane as well.
I feel like they want something with a bit of pushing power, be it this pick or their last. Some ability to take down early towers and use the kind of the power of the Axe early on. Like when he gets that Blink Dagger and he starts finding pickoffs or just creep skipping waves, you want to be able to follow it up. Queen of Pain, though, a lane dominator, one of the better heroes mid against the sniper. Probably going to see this in DDZ's hand in the middle lane.
I like this from Redemption. A much different approach than what they went for last game. A much more obvious synergy around this team. Big damage, and if Axe can catch them with the Berserker's Call, Queen of Pain will be there with a big ultimate to follow, and like you mentioned, a lane dominator that'll help them get some momentum earlier on.
Na'Vi do have the Earthshaker, though. This is probably when Na'Vi look to pick up Phobos' hero. The Spirit Breaker or the Bristleback, the two main ones, which he's been playing a lot of.
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker, not the easiest thing to do against a Rubik. You've got the lift with the easy cancel. Dazzle a good zoning here as well, so I feel like this is less of a Spirit Breaker game. And, well, we'll see what the pick's going to be with these last two coming out.
It's also...
All right, we've got some background stuff happening. Maybe we can switch off of this screen for a second, but...
Yeah.
Production, come help us. I need someone to talk to.
Paging production people here at the caster desk.
Come say hi. We don't bite.
So Na'Vi, what else could they grab here? I feel like the Spirit Breaker is pretty good against the Quap. You can't disjoint the charge with Blink, so can lock her down. It's sort of a gamble, like you said. Rubik, one of those few heroes with an instant disable that can stop him dead in his tracks. Na'Vi will think about it. And they're running low on reserve time here. About 10 seconds left. They'll have to get executive.
5 seconds remaining.
It's the Spirit Breaker, so they do think about it, but settle on rolling the dice with the Space Cow.
Okay. It's, tried and tested, I guess. So Phobos could be trying his hand at this again, and Na'Vi just sticking to what they're comfortable with. So
what do you think? Is it worth it to pick a Spirit Breaker into a Rubik knowing that he's pretty good against Queen of Pain? Is it a worthy trade-off?
I think so. I mean, the Spirit Breaker's going to have a rough time in the laning stage with being able to have his charge cancelled by a telekinesis when he's trying to use that to escape. But the hero as a general pick is, yeah, nice for the vision especially. Can add a little bit of pressure towards the mid lane.
So at the same time in the lane, they're probably going to have to use the telekinesis to set up a kill on Spirit Breaker to begin with. I don't think they can afford to save it until he charges away and still expect to kind of get him into that threshold where he may die. So in the laning phase, it'll kind of go both ways, 50-50. I mean, he struggled in the last match, so he was still able to leech out that XP. Viper, 5th ban from Team Redemption. Na'Vi thinking about their 5th ban here. They'll need a ban out of core. The Viper was the 5th ban last game from Redemption, a hero that Havost has played some. It does make some sense here, and could work in this draft. Na'Vi, they ban out that hard carry, the Medusa. I like that ban. Good
so both
synergy
teams
with the
need their carries now. I'm really curious to see what Havost going to be playing, if it's another Slark game. Redemption, what we're going to see Lance on.
I feel like this could be an okay Slark game for Redemption this go around. Slark very good against Sniper. You've got Dazzle there with a Shallow Grave to help him out. You've got Axe to back him up also. Redemption wanted Slark. I think this could be a game where he could get away with it.
One thing Na'Vi are lacking is the ability on the dire side to take an easy Roshan. Sniper with a Mask of Madness kind of can do it okay, but none of their other heroes. You put a Medallion on a Witch Doctor, helps out a little bit there, but as far as the big picture goes, they haven't got that big Roche control hero. And there's your Redemption Slark. You mentioned it's going to be good against the Sniper. We'll see it.
Yep. So Na'Vi, final pick here. What's the ideal hero for Havost? They are out of reserve time. They'll have about 20 seconds to figure this out. I think they need something that carries pretty hard here, though. Sniper, kind of their lone core. Oh, hello. And we're back.
10 seconds remaining.
What hero do the crowd want? That's what it was saying.
I'm not sure.
I don't think they agree.
Gyro.
Oh. They're not happy with it.
Okay, well, Gyrocopter, a hero we don't get to see too often.
So we'll see how the lanes unravel here. This is a kind of a classic Havost hero. Played a lot of this for a while, and we'll see it back in his hands once more. It's been a while since we've seen Havost Gyrocopter. The big game I still remember, go back to MLG Columbus, picking up multiple Divine Rapiers, winning his team late game scenarios with this, and a great lane dominator as well. This is going to give Axe a really rough time in that off lane, even if he has someone like a Dazzle or a Rubik up there with him.
Yes, sir. We may be having connection issues here again. No? Okay, we're okay.
I'll be making a move towards this top lane, though. They've got to be very careful. Redemption poised to strike. All it's going to take is one telekinesis, and there's your first blood. And Havost isn't even going to go for it. They're not going to risk it. Looks like they've called win that Redemption. Have a lot of heroes up here, and looking to contest this one.
The battle begins.
Okay, I'm back.
Worthy tribute.
I was getting worried for a second, you know? I was getting nervous. Heart was starting beating fast. I thought I was going to have to take this game alone, Andrew.
Just preemptively dealing with the Kale. All right, so did you introduce the rosters? I was not listening to a word.
Yep.
Okay, good. Phew, you're a step ahead of me.
Woo. Phobos rocks up. 20 seconds bounty rune. That's a freebie.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. Good for him. So Spirit Breaker will take the off lane. Dendi in the mid, up against GoDz. So Sniper versus Quap. I want to talk about this mid lane matchup a little bit. Dire will have a high ground ward, might make things a little easier for Dendi, but should Quap win this match? They're both kind of considered lane dominators to some degree.
Quap should win this match, absolutely. It's going to come down. This lane ward does help Dendy a lot as far as knowing when Quap's on the high ground, ready to blink in, go for a kill. But Dendy, it's very important to try to keep this creep wave on his hill, which he's done a good job of so far. Got a good first block off, and looking to keep it up there with a double range creep. So, but once it pushes out, that's when DDZ can really zone him out of this lane, and Dendy will struggle.
Okay. Back up in the top lane, though. MTR, there's your first blood. It's Havos that draws it. Flat cannon level 1. You don't see that often, but it yields a kill this time.
Good fissure block from GoBlack, it looks like, and the caster follow. Just some good old classic chain stun, and that's with a Radiant Ward, giving vision in that tree area. Na'Vi get off to a good start here. Dendy's already brought out additional regen to help him against the Queen of Pain, and fast hitting okay, at least for the first minute and a half.
Well, and now that up top, Na'Vi has secured her advantage for themselves. GoBlack could try to rotate mid and feel a little more safe about it since Havos has a bit of an edge, and Yol should be able to do quite a bit to help just on a 2 versus 2. Zhangzai will hang around and MTR will stay up. 2-1-2 continues for Redemption.
Yeah, the 2-1-2 gives Phobos a lot more XP out of this other lane, than the off lane than he otherwise would be getting. So it does feel like the Spirit Breaker pick really worked because they can't zone the Spirit Breaker out.
Here we go. He charges forward onto Mosin. Won't be able to grab the illusion rune, but still making his presence known. And finding level 3 this early on is a great victory for him. The mid lane, yeah, still very one-sided for DDZ. 8-5 on him compared to the 4-4 on Sniper.
Big things for Sniper. He's going to lose the CS battle, just don't get killed. If you're only behind like maybe 10 CS at 8 to 10 minutes in,
up top,
you're doing okay.
Another fissure block onto Zhangzai. There will be a little gap, but no, GoBlack gets that big cow body in the way. Havos is there with a rocket barrage, and they'll find yet another kill on the axe. And it does go the way of Havos. GoBlack is on point this game. These fissures are at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that is just good Earthshaker play, and now he's going to swing off that top lane, maybe even catch someone like a Queen of Pain by surprise. Then he's just going to start casually throwing out some loose shrapnels. Actually, he was scouting out a Rubik illusion that was kind of coming his way. Make sure it's not a real one.
On his way through, he'll stack the hard camp here in the jungle to give Dendy some creeps to move back to. And as we've seen throughout this tournament quite a bit with the Earthshaker, just his presence being known in the mid lane can be enough to secure an edge for his support, or for his core rather. Knowing that he could be nearby is just enough for that Quap to play a little more defensive, back up, and give Dendy that space he needs.
Top lane, the aggression's going to continue from Na'Vi. They brought Earthshaker back once more, thinking maybe they can find an additional kill. Havos with phase boots already, 2 points in the rocket barrage. He's got a lot of potential damage output with this build of his.
Absolutely. Gyro, one of those great late game carries, but early on, he can put out a lot of damage. DDZ blinks aggressively mid, and will take a fair bit of harass. Dendy actually holding his own pretty well now. The CS score leveling out.
Yeah, he's constantly just jumping on a Dendy, using Shadow Strike screams, harassing him, has the bottle regen. Dendy, though, forced to buy more Tangos repeatedly, so he may have to bring out another set of Tangos. So while the CS is relatively even, Dendy has invested a bit more in unrecoverable health regen.
Down bottom, Phobos could be in some trouble here. Doesn't have charge for another 3 seconds. DDZ comes in, doesn't have another blink. Shadow Strike, is the DOT going to be enough? I don't think so.
No. Doll has the heal. Just be on the safe side, we'll give him a little mini heal.
Little pick me up.
He'll be back to base. And
One
of the great things about Spirit Breakers is little downtime. He goes back and heals. He can just charge a lane to get back to XP leeching. Even if it's just the Slark at bottom, gets back quicker, and he's once again farming or at least getting XP, working towards that level 6.
Yeah. Lance on the Slark. Looks like he'll be going for a Midas this go-around. Has the Gloves of Haste already. 5 minutes in, and not exactly free farming, but getting a lot of space. Spirit Breaker will be charging back down and keeping up with Havos. Just a couple of creep kills behind. Quap leaving the lane gives Dendy some space to actually take over as the leading CSer here in the mid. I feel like this duel off lane, though, for Redemption is just a total backfire. Zhangzai only level 4 right now. He's got 5 last hits to his name. I mean, at this point, Yol has more farm than he does on the support Witch Doctor. An Axe who doesn't have a Vanguard, doesn't have a Blink by that 10-15 minute mark. What does he bring to the table?
And even to go further than that, it doesn't feel like the Queen of Pain mid against Dendy's Sniper has worked out too well. Dendy, 18 CS, 12 denies, is ahead of the Queen of Pain now. This, I feel like, should not be happening. Yeah, the Queen of Pain's dominance is much more limited to the first 5 minutes, but we're only just past that mark. Dendy should not be doing as well as he is right now.
GoBlack still lingering around in the mid lane. So just enough to make his presence known. Will be hiding in the tree line here. Down bottom, oh, Lance misses a pounce, and Phobos, he'll be okay. Gives him the Lantern, and almost finds level 5. Picks up that Orb of Venom, doing a very similar build that he did in the last game.
Importantly, GoBlack's first ward from his second set gets immediately dewarded, so Dendi was given some high ground vision, which is now gone in the mid lane. The other one about to expire. So Dendi's not going to have that high ground vision at mid. He's going to play pretty cautiously around this mid lane as a result of not having that vision.
Looking at early levels here, all the support's still pretty even. The disparity, I think, is going to come in these off-laners, the Axe versus the Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker now level 5. Axe, he actually has decent XP. It's farm that's the bigger issue for him. He picks up his Tranquil Boots, and now he's rotated into the jungle, and that leaves MTR in this awkward position of being a solo off-lane Dazzle. He needs to be pretty careful. Sure, he has a shallow grave, but not really much he can do here. Can only leech a little XP when they shove into the tower. Outside of that, he's just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, it feels like Na'Vi are just kind of happy to play similarly to game 1, where they're just looking to kind of win the farm battle across the board, but this game, not as convincing. Just a 1k gold lead early on. Even with the Spirit Breaker factor, you've got heroes that are much harder to gank for a Spirit Breaker. The Queen of Pain's got a Blink Escape, which is Slark isn't really gankable, so not going to quite pose the same threat with the charge this game.
Well, DDZ, now level 6, has the Sonic Wave. He'll rotate up top, finds Yol, blinks forward. There's the Sonic Wave, gets the kill on the Witch Doctor, but a call down from Havost will connect. DDZ will just walk away. So a nice rotation there, quick pick on the support, but helps him out and gets him level 7.
Small victory for Redemption, and gives Dendi like a 2-minute window where he doesn't have to worry about Sonic Wave, and he can farm a lot more aggressively as a result. DDZ will blink out, no assassinate from Dendi, and the standard stuff here, but 2 minutes without Sonic Waves means Dendi's a lot safer mid lane, because Slark's gone for a Midas, means Slark's not ganking Dendi. Axe doesn't have a blink. There's no way Dendi dies while that's on cooldown. Mid lane, DDZ in trouble, is going to blink out, but the assassinate will find him. Nicely timed by Dendi. Knew that he had to blink, and the assassinate would follow him. Oh, bottom lane, meanwhile, Spirit Breaker gets a solo kill, and he'll get out of this one. The call, not in time.
Oh, wow, that
Great
was
play
close.
from Phobos.
Berserker's call was there, but just came just a half a second too late.
That's the Nether Strike with an Orb of Venom for the extra slow.
And this is the power of the Spirit Breaker getting this much experience. Last game he was not level 6 this early, and he can find solo kills. This is his big benchmark. Now he'll charge back down bottom and just continue putting pressure on Lance.
Got the Witch Doctor down with him. They're going to TP in the Earthshaker. They may actually commit and go for a kill. Probably not onto the Slark. He can, or at least force his ultimate, but looks like they're just going to be happy to settle back and to reset. They're farming well on Dendi. He's actually going to swing towards the top lane. Havos, he's taking over the mid lane for now. It's an interesting kind of switch up there. Havos actually swung into the jungle. He farmed that big stack we talked about earlier, and I think just swung towards mid lane after that.
Phase Boots, Morbid Mask, Ring of Aquila. Probably looking for an early HOD here. A lot of things he can do with it.
Yep.
He's got it now.
Start sacking your Ancients, and
Yep.
you're on your way to being 6-slotted.
Wow, that Rocket Barrage is quite loud. Yeah, you
Some
can stack.
spells are deceptively noisy.
Yeah. You can stack Ancients with it, but also you can grab that Alpha Wolf, as we've seen a lot of different players do on that Troll Warlords, where it's pretty common, but really busts up that damage of the Gyro. And now with the HOD, he can just farm away in the jungle to his heart's content.
Yep. Looks like he'll be doing some stacking with his Hellbear. The ideal creep. Normally want like a range creep or something, but hey,
It'll
he gets
do.
what's nearby.
It'll do.
Top lane Dendi playing pretty cautiously. Does have to worry a bit about the Sonic Wave being back up, and also the Axe blink timing. Axe has spent a lot of time in the jungle. He's not that close to it, but Na'Vi don't really know. They don't know how many stacks Axe has been getting. Until they actually get vision of him, they're going to be very scared of that first Blink Dagger gank coming out and killing someone like Dendi or like Havos on the Gyrocopter.
Dangzai at least getting space in the jungle. He is level 6 now. So has that dunk at his disposal. He's actually pulled ahead of the Spirit Breaker in terms of farm, even though Phobos has had a much more active presence this game, has actually found a kill. He'll get his power treads up at the side shop here. Radiant side, still not much item progression. Dazzle, he'll grab himself Urn of Shadows. And that's pretty much all we've seen since that Hand of Midas Slark. Is this a Shadow Blade game for Slark, you think, Parker?
I think so. I think it's just generally the better item compared to Blink Dagger in the early to mid game, and that feels like when Redemption are going to fight. They'll get a Shadow Blade on the Slark, the Blink on the Axe, just Queen of Pain with levels, and try and take mid game fights around these items. I think the Shadow Blade just gives you more damage, more versatility. You've got an escape, you've got an initiation, and it forces the Na'Vi supports to invest a lot of money into sentries and detection, which really kind of cripples their economy.
Yeah, Na'Vi, they won't want to fight until they get these key ultimates on their supports. Witch Doctor very close to 6. He might even have it right now as he clears out these couple of creeps. Go Black, still doing okay, but almost level 5. Doesn't have the dunk yet. I think this is another game where Na'Vi will want to keep it kind of quiet early on and wait until they get some of those core items up in the mid-game before they really take look to take these skirmishes.
Yeah, they're just looking to make sure they have the best items possible for when that Blink on Axe comes up. I guess in theory they could be fighting now, but they haven't really got a good ganking lineup outside of the Spirit Breaker. And Spirit Breaker, well, he's not really finding openings to go for charge kills right now. If they present themselves, he'll go for them. Off lane, sneaky, Redemption looking for a kill here, and it's going to be Yol's Witch Doctor they may find. Not a big kill, but at this point they're not getting any kills.
That was the target last time. Yol, almost lives, but does end up going down. Now the charge onto DDZ gets lifted. There's that telekinesis we talked about. A lot of TPs coming in, but the Nether Strike onto Mosin. They'll go 1-for-1, support for support. DDZ will blink back, and that'll be the end of it.
And even TPing up here out of the safe lane, so getting a bit of farm on your Slack. Actually goes back for a Ring of Aquila, so definitely want to fight early with this kind of an item, but bit of an unusual pit stop. Normally you'd get this earlier and try and pressure your tier 1 tower, but he TP's top. Maybe think he was going to stay bottom and try pressure the tier 1 with this Ring of Aquila aura. It is a great value item though.
Yeah. Here comes DDZ, wants to clear out this creep wave. They do get a good bit of damage to that tier 1 tower, but won't bring it down quite yet. Forcing Redemption to kind of come up and react to it. Space in the mid lane for Yol to farm up a little bit. Phobos as well. He's now level 8, has an Urn of Shadows on the way. Yol 800 gold up, but at least he's level 6. That's one of those key ultimates we talked about. Go Black as well. Slark staying quiet down bottom. He spent some of his gold. What is it? No. Oh, he bought Power Treads. That's it.
Yeah, then just recently the ring. So.
Oh yeah, and the Aquila. Yep.
More Ancient Stacks going down. Havos has a lot of farm waiting for him. This has got up to a 5 stack, it looks like.
Yeah.
And 6, I would say.
Double Drake, double Golem, and I think
just double
one Lizard.
Okay.
A
lot of farm.
It's a beefy stack. Yeah, that's the takeaway. It's a big fatty.
Spirit Breaker just going to keep on charging lanes, and when he gets nearby, he'll say, is it worth it? No. They pull back to the tower, they don't push up, and he'll cancel it. Just keeping vision as well. You charge someone, and they back off to their tower. Sometimes the vision around them, you can reveal like a second or a third hero, maybe in the top lane looking to gank. You could reveal a smoke gank, as they just do. If you're charging them and telling you they smoke, it's really good intel for your team. So I really like how Phobos plays the Spirit Breaker, just uses the charge very freely. He cancels like 75% of his charges, but with good reason.
Mid lane, Go Black. He's in a lot of trouble. It'll be a 4-on-1. Easy kill on the Earthshaker, but now Na'Vi come in.
Nice, great. He's going to get a second dunk here. Zhang Zai still alive. The cooldown may finish him up with a death ward. Uh-oh, MTR assassinated. 2-for-2 trade. Good recovery from Na'Vi. Started off poorly with a double dunk, but they end up winning that team fight in a pretty big way. Well, at least as far as their carries go.
Yeah, Dendy going to be the big breadwinner there. He'll hit level 11 off the back of that, and now gets an Ogre Club, either an SNY or at the beginning of that BKB. Invisibility rune up on DDZ. He scouts this out. He may just leech the XP rather than
actually
reveal.
leech XP from Ancient, so.
Oh no! Sonic Wave out on Havos and Dendy. Lance comes pouncing in. Havos looks for the deny, and he'll get it.
That was the only move available for him. DDZ now assassinates there. Will Blink destroy? No, he doesn't. He blinks too early.
Lance in trouble though. He's getting charged. Goes into Shadow Dance. Can they interrupt this?
Oh,
Will be
he
time
gets
it in.
Oh, Lance, so close. Also gets the pounce block. Really nice play from Yol. Na'Vi just looking to secure this huge Ancient stack. They don't have a Voss here, but Dendy's going to pull himself back and poke away.
The right idea from Redemption to try and interrupt the Ancient stack, but it just backfires there. Yeah, they get Havos, but they have to pay with their Slark. Feels like a pretty 50-50 trade.
Yeah, losing the Slack there is not really ideal. And Dendy, hey, he can make use of this farm. He's just about to pick up his Sanjin Yasha. I like this kind of just value item that he's picking up. He can do with the HP to survive the Sonic Wave from a blink in, and just the general maim and attack speed you get is going to be very valuable for Sniper as well. The Mask of Madness would just be 2 glass cannon to work. Maybe saying he goes back for, but for now, seems like the right way to itemize with this Sanjin Yasha.
Yep. Now Havost, he'll pick up a Mithril Hammer. I would imagine the beginnings of a BKB.
Yeah,
as
he's got the Ogre Club coming out of the career.
Ah, yeah, there it is.
Top tower is under
Wow, he's
attack.
really close. Less than 1,000 gold away. Big pickup for the Gyro. How's the item progression on the Radiant side? We saw the Blink Dagger on the Axe and that little skirmish mid, and since then, just working on the beginnings of a Blade Mail. And DDZ, he just wants to go for the Yule Scepter here on his Queen of Pain, and he's pretty damn close.
Interesting little item pickup. We're seeing a lot of this against heroes that with silences and orchids, but this Yule's is going to be much more about cancelling the Spirit Breaker charge and kind of initiation. He's getting charged in this top lane. He's in trouble.
Yule comes in.
DDZ going to get chain stunned. The Axe Gaze Blink gets cancelled. He doesn't get the call off. Oh no, the counter charge from Mosin goes through, but he gets punished by another strike. Redemption's lost one. It's a second by GoBlack. They're going to stop the Dazzle. Dennis track going for the TP out. No siree. Phobos gets a triple kill for GoBlack. Earthshaker, he cashes in.
Great TP, the Fissure breaks up the fight, secures the first kill, and he just comes in, gives him the totem, gives him the dunk. All of a sudden, this Earthshaker's about to have a Blink Dagger. He's got 1,800 gold. They're going to get a tier 1 tower top. That'll push him that much closer. Na'Vi getting a lot of momentum off that. Well, it's a pretty even game. Now they've got at least 3K gold, 4K experience in their favor.
Lance, he's getting charged bottom. He probably knows that. Lost his Shadow Dance. The only thing that does that is that charge. So another good use of the Spirit Breaker is against Slark. It's a nice little counter pick in some ways. You can follow him when he kind of tries to get to Fog, and even the charge still goes and hits him in Shadow Dance. So if he tries to Shadow Dance TP as we saw earlier, or just Shadow Dance to escape, you can still get the stun on him to help kind of lock him down for part of that duration.
I mean, you can't argue with the power of the Spirit Breaker in that last fight, interrupting the Axe Blink. So crucial there. He was the initiator they needed to start that fight off, and it did not work out for him. DDZ has the Yules complete. He'll blink back as Na'Vi rotate towards the mid. Here's a big item pickup for Redemption, though. Lance will finally grab that Shadow Blade, and a little bit later than he'd like. But 18 minutes in, it will be delivered.
Level 2 Sonic Wave on your Queen of Pain. Thinking about maybe getting aggressive somewhere on the map, but Havas will have his BKB. The Sonic Wave can still hit through this, but the Shadow Strike, the slows, the Scream. And uh-oh. DDZ pulls a Dendy. Duck.
Uh-oh.
That's a cute little play. Yule's the satyr so he doesn't deny the rune. Making full use of the Yule Scepter.
Absolutely. Havos has his BKB now. Gyro in fighting shape. Na'Vi utilizing the Ancients so well. Another triple stack here. 2 Drakes and a set of Thunderhides. Really helping out their farming efficiency and giving them a nice edge. They've got even this Satyr here to help them out. Look at that. Giving them the club.
Better in general, using the map. They out-farm their opponents. We saw it game 1. We're seeing it in game 2. Not quite to the same extent, but it's still a very similar principle being applied. And you see a smoke coming out. Redemption
smoke.
Gonna latch on to Dendy. Dendy's in trouble. He gets slam dunked.
Okay, that's the kind of rotation they need from these smokes, but Zhang Zai, he's still ready to fight. He charges up to the high ground, gets hit by a cask. It'll start bouncing around, goes back to Zhang Zai, gets hit by homing missile. And that'll just be for Na'Vi to retreat. DDZ, meanwhile, getting charged down bottom.
Oh, he's got no Yules.
Oh, he's in trouble. Yules has already been used. GoBlack has the dunk. The Nether Strike gets a second bash to boot. Havos gets the kill, shows off the BKB, stands his ground. He'll try to fight this, at least as long as he can, taking a lot of damage. Lance goes into Shadow Dance form. Havos will survive. Yol nearby. The rest of Na'Vi have TP'd back to the base, but Phobos, he's charging in.
Oh, I think he's going to have to cancel this one.
Yeah.
Yol alone does have a Death Ward, but not going to go in that. That was nice play from Avast, getting out of that one. Great use of phase boots. Some carries just kind of forget about their phase boots or spam them in a team fight just willy-nilly, but using it to kind of juke them over a creep wave. They couldn't actually chase past the creep wave, which body blocked them while Havas faced over it. We'll see Na'Vi not give up to any big casualties there, and they're killing the Queen of Pain. Really nice.
Feels like one of the big breadwinners for Na'Vi this game has been Yol. He's more than halfway to that Aghanim Scepter already on the Witch Doctor. Point Booster and Ogre Club in the inventory. He's pretty tanky and feeling pretty good. You compare that to someone like the Dazzle, who's level 9, sitting with just an Urn of Shadows magic wand, and Rubik, who's working on a 4-staff, but still pretty far away with just the Staff of Wizardry.
Redemption, they need to start taking some of these mid-game fights and actually winning them. This is where their lamp's meant to be strong. You've got your Shadow Blade on Slack, your Axe Blink initiation. Queen of Pain went for this early game value item in the Yules, so they can wait a bit longer. Maybe like one more core item. Get Slack, his Shadow Blade, Queen of Pain, and Axe Scepter. and then take those fights then. But if this goes too late game, Sniper, Gyrocopter, these heroes take over. And it's so hard to win fights right now. This Earthshaker Blink coming up this fast is really potent.
Yeah. Mid lane, Redemption starting to put some pressure on. Tier 1 tower has come in at deny range. Go Black with the fissure. They still have a glyph here. DDZ could be in some trouble. Hit by the cast. Homing missile almost finds him. Will chase him down. He's going to get charged to the high ground. Yules buys him some time. Mitigates a lot of damage. The Assassinate as well. But now Fissure on 2. Death Ward from the low ground doing a lot of damage. Mosin will interrupt it, but it secures the kill on DDZ and MTR. Now Mosin on the backside of the fight in an awkward position. It'll be a 3-0 for Na'Vi. Axe survives with 20 hit points to spare.
Bobo's going to go down as well. He tried to chase down the Axe, but Lance will punish him for that.
All right, a 1 for 3. A little pick-me-up for Redemption at the end, but it's Na'Vi coming out ahead in that fight and getting a lot out of it.
The practical use of the Yules, he managed to dodge so much. The homing missile, the charge, and the Assassinate, but it doesn't really save your life after that. Na'Vi just with a big farm advantage say, okay, you block those spells, well, here's a few more. Here's a cooldown, here's a fissure, and here's some right clicks from our Sniper, who's getting ridiculously farmed now. Picks up a Maelstrom to go with his Sanjin Yasha.
Yeah.
Dandy in great position.
That was a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of a play. If he doesn't use that, he just dies from all those spells hitting him in the face. So, did the best he could with that situation. Na'Vi showing how much damage they can put out. Dendy will move into a Maelstrom now. Still hasn't gone for a Mask of Madness or anything like that, but itemizing to have quite a bit of attack speed, and the damage output is on the up and up.
And every time we look at Na'Vi, it feels like they're farming an Ancient stack. It's a triple stack now, a double stack here or there, a 5 stack earlier on. They are just getting so much value out of these Ancients. We haven't seen anything similar on the Redemption side. They haven't been stacking, they've just been trying to take the farm from the lanes and fights, but they're losing out every time we see them take a fight. It's a 8-kill deficit, but okay lane farm. They're only down by about 4 to 5k gold. Considering how Na'Vi seem to be getting all these Ancient stacks and winning these fights, I feel like it could be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. Lance using that Shadow Blade, moving up to the high ground. He's going to bump into Dendy. This could be another freebie here. Connects with the pound. Stark Pact is there. Charge has been queued. Can they punish this? Dendy survives from now on the other side of the fight. Mosin, he barely lives, but the call-down's doing so much damage. They find the kill on Axe. Now MTR goes down as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, they punish the Slark, and Dendy lives. It's a 4-0 and a bloody disaster for Redemption.
Well, 4-0, and it's not going to stop there. They're going to take towers as well. DDZ nearby has a Sonic Wave, but he's not going to go on Dendy. Dendy's being earned back up. He's got the heals as well from the Witch Doctor if they need it, but they're not going to need it. DDZ just sitting nearby, farming up some neutrals. Going to let the tier 1 go down, but here comes Na'Vi. He's got to get out.
What started as maybe a free pick on the Sniper just quickly devolved into a disastrous fight. The little bit of sustain from the Witch Doctor was all Dendy needed, and then the charge from Phobos completely turned it around. With quite a few still in the grave, Na'Vi just moved right into the Roche pit. They'll be able to bring it down in what feels like a matter of seconds. This will be uncontested.
Redemption still in their own base. They're not going to get here in time. This is looking like a free Roche, and Dendy's picked up an Ogre Club, going very defensive with his items, but this is kind of like a surefire win to just slow roll this game. We saw Na'Vi take this approach last game. Bit by bit, slowly get further and further ahead, and tanking up on a Sniper, making him not an easy kill for a Queen of Pain or a Blink call from an Axe. The Slark couldn't kill him. A normal Sniper with like Mask of Madness, Yasha, Maelstrom, maybe a Sanjin Yasha dies there, but Dendy with his tanky build kept himself alive against the Slark Shadowblade initiation.
And now he's got Nagus the Immortal, so he can be a little more safe for at least the next 5 minutes or so, as Na'Vi just continue to take more objectives. Outside of Roche, they rotate his 5 down to this bottom tier 1 tower. Redemption, they're grouped up in the mid lane, but the tower's already dead, and not too much they can do in the way of objectives. Maybe they can move into the tier 2, but Na'Vi will have plenty of time to react as this tier 1 will fall before they even make it to the tier 2 mid. DDZ getting charged. They're moving in as quickly as they can.
There's a big one. The Witch Doctor Ag's now complete. Butterfly for her boss. This is just 25 minutes. Na'Vi have all these luxury items, which you just wouldn't expect them to have this early on, and, well, at least for the 2 carries. These 2 carries are well ahead of the Radiant side. Lance up there, but still a bit of a ways to go before his Scotty's online.
Not quite as extreme as the last game, but feeling like a little bit of deja vu with Na'Vi's 2 big cores. Dendy and Havos getting so much farm. The team supporting them so well. Continuing to stack up Ancients here. Havos finding another stack he takes out by himself. That secures his level 16. He gets a Butterfly. He's already got another 1,400 gold sitting in the bank. Dendy now moving into just the BKB and a recipe away at that.
Well, for Redemption, their late game just doesn't really hold up, I feel. Queen of Pain, if you had maybe more farm on this Queen of Pain, it'd be one thing, but Queen of Pain just still looking for that Ag Scepter. Does have it in just 50 gold, so.
Yeah. Same with the Axe. One of these heroes that if he has a lot of farm, scales really well at this stage of the game and can really have a strong presence even towards that late game, but he's just not packing that punch. Blink, Blade Mail, and the beginnings of a BKB. Just not that scary. His net worth about half of Havost right now.
The charge comes in, there's a Blink Fissure. DDZ gonna go down, the earn damage should be enough.
Yules.
Or will it?
Whoa!
That Yules saved his life. He was gonna
But
die to the
Havost
earn
is ready and
damage.
waiting. Just a couple of pokes. That's an easy kill. The monster kill streak continues.
Everybody always underestimates the 4. They're waiting. Havost says, thank you very much.
A little Christmas present there. Now up to another 2,500 gold, and that'll set the Quap back that much more. Although, does he have the Aghanims already? Yes, he does. So, bought out before he died. There's the one positive there.
Yeah, didn't lose any money, but more map control going the way of Na'Vi. They check their side of the map for wards, check above the Roche pit. There are a couple Radiant wards protecting their jungle around the mid lane, but this gem on Yol likely to clear those out if he heads the right direction.
Well, speaking of Aghanim Scepters, Yol's got his, as well as a gem. That is a big upgrade. This Death Ward is going to be able to do a lot of damage. Na'Vi, all grouped up here. They've got a nice aggressive ward. An atypical spot, but still gives you a lot of vision in this area. Gives you a little bit of vision in towards the lane. As Phobos just charges down bottom.
They clear out one observer ward here. Yeah, Phobos down here probably just trying to get away from the danger zone, which was mid lane. And Na'Vi more than anything probably trying to look to just get map control. Roche should be... Actually, no, they've got the Aegis. What am I talking about? Roche is not coming into play right now. It's the Aegis of Dendy, which is looking to secure Na'Vi objectives, but Redeem's doing the right thing. Split pushing top.
I'm pretty sure they smoked under that newly placed ward. I think Na'Vi are baiting this out. They have Havost in the front lines. They know it. Troops are nearby. Havost, he'll go down first. They don't go in fast enough. Phobos goes charging in. Jangsai lives. Compliments that shallow grave, but the Death Ward doing so much damage. DDZ gets brought down. It's a 1 for 4. A successful bait from Na'Vi.
Who's got a TP? The Breaker has one. Where are the others? Spirit Breaker as well as Witch Doctor. They'll defend the top lane. Half the damage onto this tier 3 tower, but still a good team fight for Na'Vi. That's still an acceptable trade for them to win a fight that big. They do lose Havost, which was not quite the outcome they would have liked, but still a good outcome.
Yep. I think they were hoping to maybe get in there a little more quickly and keep Havost alive, but all things considered, still pretty good. Maybe wanted to put Dendy in the front lines to bait with that Aegis, perhaps, but still works out well in the end. Their tier 3 up top, sure it takes more than half damage, down to about 500 HP, but furthering their lead, and if we dare look at this gold graph, now upwards of about 12,000 net worth, 15,000 experience. The lead for Na'Vi, and Go Black now moving into more luxury items. He's got that Yule's Scepter to go with his Blink Dagger.
The Lance now pick up his next big item, the Skadi.
Okay.
Aegis gets reclaimed, so Na'Vi gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way without an Aegis if they want to start taking some more tier 2s, but probably happy just to keep farming their side of the map. Guess what? They got another Ancient stack. Havost just gonna walk his way here towards a triple stack. This Helm of the Dominator has paid off easily. Constant Ancient stacks, and this has just been a huge source of income for Na'Vi.
Well, now that DDZ has that Aghanim Scepter, he can be pretty liberal with his use of the Sonic Wave. We see him using it there in the mid lane just to clear out some creeps. So it does become kind of a farming tool for the Queen of Pain if there's a big stack of just lane creeps pushing into a lane. And nearing level 16. So getting a little more damage on that ultimate. What does Havost look for his next item, though? He's got the butterflies we've talked about.
At some point, he'll upgrade the Satanic.
He's got the recipe.
Satanic MK. Oh, he's got the recipe. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Raw HP. If he had a Satanic last fight, the HP would have allowed him to survive. Even though his Chainstun couldn't have used the Satanic until after all the damage wore off, he would have survived. Pop Satanic, probably lived. I don't think they had the damage to burst the Satanic.
Charge up top. It'll be on DDZ, but he TP's back to the base.
Easy U-turn for that bounty rune.
BKB on the way for Phobos. That'll make his life a lot easier.
Voss, just 100 gold before he has the Satanic. Not going to be saving for buyback. I don't think it's really a big issue for him. There's going to be a Roche coming up in the next couple of minutes, it looks like. And that's something which Redemption have to decide. Are they going to try and contest it, or are they just going to give it to Na'Vi and then accept the fact that Na'Vi with Aegis and all these new big items, a BKB on Dendi, maybe even a Mjolnir, Havos with a Satanic, that's going to be the end of your tier 2 towers, and you've got to find a way to defend high ground against an Aegis, probably on your Gyrocopter, maybe your Sniper, and Na'Vi just 5-manning down one of these lanes.
Couple of 4 stabs coming out for the Radiant supports. MTR pretty close to his, just a ring of regen away. Mosin, he's got his completed. So they do have some mobility tools. I like that.
Compared to the Dire supports, though, there is
a
lot
big
of
disparity.
Dazzle, yeah, there we go. Finishes his Witch Doctor with 2k gold, Earthshaker with a Blink Fuels, and I mean just 500 on top of that. But this is filthy rich Dire support.
Clark, what does he look for here? I think a Basher coming out next would probably be pretty good. Get a little more control for Redemption.
Yeah, I don't think he needs a BKB at this point. I think having a way of actually trying to bash the Witch Doctor during the Death Ward is going to be important. Give him at least an answer to the Death Ward to help out his team. He can just pop the Shadow Dance or Shadow Blade in, try and get to the Witch Doctor when he's trying to use that ultimate. Yeah, someone's got to deal with the Witch Doctor. That was what won Na'Vi that last team fight. After everything was spawned on Gyrocopter, it was like, well, no stuns left, no damage left. This Witch Doctor just got a free full duration ultimate onto our entire team.
Yeah, they're pretty light on stuns to interrupt it. We've seen Rubik try to prioritize it with a telekinesis, but easier said than done when that Death Ward's bouncing around across your entire team.
Well,
not the most
max duration roast respawn.
Unfortunate for Na'Vi. Split push from Lance as he takes out the tier 2 down bottom. Na'Vi grouped up in the mid. They'll pressure this tier 2 here. No glyph available for Redemption. So this tower should go down with a fresh creep wave. Looks like Lance will be able to grab a tower of his own. No glyph for Na'Vi either.
Phobos goes one way, charges the Quap, then comes back mid lane. That's a bit of tier 2 and Na'Vi get a tier 2. So pretty even trade. I like the play from Lance. Not a hero really known for split push, but when the game calls for it, you make your carry split push, even if that's not what it's good at.
Spirit Breaker will sound the charge. Some TPs coming in. They want to punish this, but Lance will use the ultimate, TP home, and plays it very safe.
Nice play. If Gobug TPs first, though, that could have been a different story. If he gets a Blink Fissure off, he can cancel that Shadow Dance TP.
Fuels on Phobos in the mid. Thinking about setting it up, but Redemption, don't go for it. They just back out. Sanj on the Axe. Thinking it'll probably be a Halberd here. Try and find some disarm, but BKB already out on the Gyro as well as the Sniper. Doubtful to be an SNY.
It ended up being a BKB for Lance, so no Basher yet. It's still almost got to be his next big item. Probably feeling like he's not going to be team fighting for some time yet, and the BKB allows him to split push, use the BKB to maybe survive against the Earthshaker. So this is an item almost exclusively being bought for the Earthshaker with a Fissure and Blink Echo Slam, so he can TP away without getting Blink Fissured or just Fissured in general.
Yeah. Black still pulling up his gold though. Invisibility rune on. Looking for an opening here. DDZ very deep in the trees in the top lane. I think looking for perhaps some split push of his own.
Redemption smoked up. They're going to find Black, but he's invis. Where's the detection? They've got nothing.
Oh my. Here we go, Zhang Zai. Maybe in some trouble here. There's your Nether Strike. Call down from Avost. Axe goes down first.
They got the bash. BKB. Oh, first hit bash comes in.
Wow.
Oh, Phobos. This assassinate going to end the kill, and
now on the other
DDZ
side,
doing what he can top lane first.
MTR TP's out. Glyph comes out, and DDZ will TP as well. Still a 2-for-0, and it's 2 cores at that. Neither of them have buybacks. Slark out of the game for 60 seconds.
Na'Vi don't know, but they're just saying, look, whether there's a buyback or not, we want to force it. Redemption, that was just, a bit of misfortune going the Slark's way with that first hit bash from Phobos, but even so, just a bad fight that they shouldn't have been taking, maybe.
Rubik steals Charge of Darkness. Interesting.
So. Not your ideal spell. Not a hero you aren't really charging in.
Yeah, you kind of want to be in the back line.
Can maybe look to force out after he charges in, but Na'Vi just poke away at the high ground, then you can just sit far back, right-clicking away, have also be in the front lines.
There is a glyph. There you go. Redemption will use it right away. Dendi can just sit at the low ground and slow siege this. He does have a Mjolnir up, so they could put the buff on one of the frontliners, Phobos, or maybe Havost.
Dendi just gonna lose vision. Didn't use another shrapnel. Could have done so maybe, but he's only got the one left. But I think this creep wave, they're gonna try to bring down the tier 3 before Slack respawns, but 5 seconds.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
They will
Na'Vi
back out.
back off. Roshan has respawned. It was the max duration respawn, and something Na'Vi likely have their eyes on.
Looking at Radiant Vision, they've got 2 wards down, but not in the Roche pit. One deep in the dire jungle and one about to expire at the top rune. They may be suspicious that Na'Vi are moving in the Roche, but even if they make movements now, I don't think they'll get here in time.
Yeah,
And this
Joel
should be
with
an
a blink
uncontested
dagger. He
Roshan.
can like blink onto a cliff or something. Like, good luck dealing with this Witch Doctor around the Roche pit. He can find so many nice spots to use a Death Ward. He can do it from the Ancients onto the high ground. Easy, big charge. Oh, GoDz in a great position to get this kill here. DDZ could be in some trouble. Blink up, Echo Slam to start things off. There's your totem. They've got a vision to follow. Then your Nether Strike comes in. Great gank from Na'Vi.
Perfectly executed.
Warning.
That's the way to shut down the elusive Queen of Pain from across the map. Now they've got an Aegis in tow. It's in the inventory of the Gyrocopter. Na'Vi look towards the high ground now. Quap does have a buyback this go-around.
Almost caught out the axe as well there. That blink cast just barely blinked out.
Zhang Zai will be charged here. The homing missile going to do a lot of damage. It'll get him down pretty low. Mosin taking heavy damage as well. Phobos, he's diving deep. He cancels the charge just as he gets there. Rubik gets assassinated. Witch Doctor from Yol zones out the Radiant side. They force a buyback from the Quap. Take the tier 3 tower, and Na'Vi will just back up to reset. Regen from that Voodoo Restoration and continue to slow siege from the low ground.
Still in a good position to push. The Witch Doctor ulti cooldown is the one big cooldown that Redemption now don't have to worry about should they take a fight, but this is still an Aegis Gyrocopter.
Oh, what a fissure.
Great initiation there. Zhang Zai gonna be kept alive a bit longer. DK Phobos gets the dazzle in the backlines, and Zhang Zai tries to TP. That ain't gonna work. They've only brought down Daniel the Sniper. It's a big kill, but is it going to be enough? Lance BKB, he's on the run. He's trying to get out of here, but he gets locked down. The Spirit Breaker Nether Strike keeps him in place for a bit longer. Now there's a charge. No pounce out. Blink from DDZ, but Lance, he's going to die to the urn. Oh, Na'Vi take the mid lane of Rax. Will TP out Phobos.
Buyback on the Slark. Na'Vi need to retreat here. There's the stolen charge on Mosin. Lance, he finds a kill onto GoDz, but Davos is still here.
Is stranded.
He still has the Aegis, though. We'll see what kind of damage he can do.
He's going to fight his way out of this one, and he's got 0 backup.
Oh.
Clark is going to get so many essence chips procced. I think Havas going to die twice here.
Yeah, no way he's going to survive this one. So Na'Vi will get punished. Sonic Wave used here. Who's going to find this kill on Havos? It's going to be another dunk. It'll be Zhang Zai that picks it up. Look at that recap. 2 buybacks used by Redemption to make that happen on the Axe as well as the Slark. Ends up being a 3-for-4 trade. Na'Vi get the mid lane of Barracks, and the gold exchanged is a break even.
You lose Rax and it's an even gold exchange. That is not ideal.
Bad news bears.
It does. They do keep their other lane safe by killing Havos twice at the end there. They take the Aegis out of the picture, at least for now. Havos, though, he's going to pick up his next big item. MKB already online. Not worried about buyback. Probably going to suggest Na'Vi aren't going to try push without Aegis, at least until... You're not going to do that when Havos has no buyback. You're not going to go try push high ground. That's a quick way to throw away a lead.
But he does have a big item. That's an MKB now in the inventory of the Gyrocopter. And the next Roshan, not going to be up for a while, so could be another 5 to 10 minutes or so before Na'Vi really look to get aggressive.
Other fun items, the double Shadow Blade on the Na'Vi supports. Joel with the Shadow Amulet, and GoDz with the Shadow Amulet as well.
The Shadow Amulet Witch Doctor. Arguably better than the BKB in a lot of situations. The Shadow Blade, I mean, on the Witch Doctor. Well, this game will take a turn for the passive here. Axe still trying to find a baseline of farm. Hasn't even been able to upgrade the Sanj. Now finally gets the Talisman of Evasion, rather.
So Slark going for an MKB here. He wants to be able to deal with the evasion of the Gyrocopter. Dandy not going for evasion as well, but good thing with this item is, I mentioned earlier, Bash are good against if you can find the Witch Doctor casting ulti. MKB can do a similar thing. If you can find the Witch Doctor, get some attacks on him, very quickly you'll get that MKB proc and cancel the Death Ward. Or just, you'll probably 4 or 5 shot him as well with his right-click damage.
Yeah. GoDz closing in on his Shadow Blade also. The Shadow Amulet's there, and oh, he's got it. That's the Claymore coming out on the Courier, and a new Gem of True Sight purchased by Yol, and it will be picked up by GoDz. Now in his comfort zone, level 16, he's got everything an Earthshaker would ever want.
This is going to be a tough game for Redemption. 3 of the top 4 net worth heroes all on that Na'Vi side, and looking like things going to be going Na'Vi's way here, as this is an elimination match. Should Redemption lose this, they're knocked out of the tournament. They did take out one of the kind of not tournament, I don't know about favorites, but one of the tougher teams in the tournament in Rave, and
Yep.
have already kind of exceeded expectations by doing so.
Maybe worth reiterating, it was a best-of-1 series, but an upset nonetheless. Navi
now.
continuing to split the map, farm out their jungle, and Redemption really doing the same thing. And both sides just taking a turn for the passive. Not worth it to take the risk right now.
Like maybe they'll go for this top tier 2 tower. Navi will see DDZ as well as MTR bottom. They got 2 heroes here, but backup kind of on the way. They're dewarding the map as well. Problem is that means Redemption sees these 2 heroes here and could look to punish Navi not having numbers at top, but tier 2 tower is too low. Easy takedown, and Havos very close to buyback. He's 200 short, but chances are if they go for a high ground siege, he'll have that 200 gold just from the next creep wave, so...
Radiant do have a glyph. They will TP back in time to defend. I think Navi just happy with forcing a big TP reaction there.
So just poke. This is just going to be a siege here. Maybe give Havos the creep wave to get his BKB money.
BKB now.
Not his BKB, his buyback money.
Yep. MKB now up on Lance. And another big item pickup for the Radiant side. It's a Scythe of Vice on the Queen of Pain. So DDZ now with a little more right click, a little more tankiness to his name, and of course now this big lockdown. Dendi doing a pretty effective job sieging this tower. It's down to 500 HP already, and Na'Vi have committed basically nothing but just sniper auto attacks.
Disciplined play from Na'Vi. They'll get the tower,
Top tower has
and now
fallen.
Havos' buyback. Now Na'Vi can take an even bigger risk. They can put Havos on the high ground as well with Dendi, right-clicking the racks if they so choose.
There is still a glyph for Redemption, though, so Na'Vi do not want to just Zerg the barracks here.
At some point, you've just got to go in if you're Redemption. You can't just sit back. They're going to use the weave defensively. Na'Vi, I don't know if they saw that. Zheng Zai going to lead things off here. It's Havos. They go on. Can they bring him down in time? He's not going to get the Satanic off. Nice way to start the fight here. Mosin's the next in line. Havos holding the back. Blink! Echo Slam doing a huge amount of damage here. The Grave on the Zheng Zai will deny the inevitable here. He's still going to die here, but Na'Vi have lost 3. They didn't get the death ward they were looking for, and
Lance did so much work around the backside. He killed the Witch Doctor as well as the Sniper, but now he'll be punished. He still has the Shadow Deads. It's over now. He gets hit by the Fissure. Phobos has him isolated. He's down. No buyback available on the Slark. Out for 2 minutes.
whoa, and this is going to be top racks. Even with Havos and Deadly dead, it's GoBlack and Phobos. They're the ones taking the racks, the unlikely suspects, but, well, it's going to work.
What can the Quap Dazzle do? The glyph is used. It doesn't save the melee barracks. Range will stay standing, but Na'Vi not going to get away scot-free. Phobos, he'll be interrupted with a Hex. GoBlack on the high ground says, I'd love to help you, buddy, but I can't really do much.
Playing musical cyclones here. Phobos, I think, realized he needs another charge. He gets it, bottom lane. Queen of Pain has a blink, but a nice fissure. GoBlack covering his buddy.
Oh, what a blink.
Oh, Phobos, he's still not out. I think his charge got cancelled. The creep died, and oh, goodbye, Phobos.
Oh, that's a big streak for the Queen of Pain. DDZ is going to chase down GoBlack also, but lacking in the detection. No, he's got a gem. They both have gems.
DDZ going for this?
Run, GoBlack, run. There's heroes coming. DDZ needs to be a little bit careful. Yule set up.
All right, gets the double gem now. That's a pretty important item to take out of Navi's hands, but the bigger damage was done top lane. Second melee racks is taken out. Range racks also down very low, so it's not going to take much effort for Navi to get that in. Well, Roshan respawning very soon. That's going to be something very difficult for Redemption to contest at this stage of the game as well.
All of a sudden, this Queen of Pain feeling pretty rich. She's got 3,000 gold, got about 2K off those 2 kills alone at the end of that fight.
It's still a 20k gold lead for Na'Vi. Experience 15,000. Redemption still in this with a small chance, if that, and they're not going to GG out until it's completely over.
When you're fighting for elimination, you fight till the bitter end. There's always a chance to come back till that throne is down. Sniper, though, he's now got a Daedalus. Dendi's damage output getting more and more scary by the minute. Roche up in just a couple of seconds here, about 10 seconds or so. Havos will camp it out in the Roche pit. And then I think Na'Vi will look for that high ground siege. This is Roche number 3. So there will be Aegis and Cheese.
Yep, and Havos just saying, look, this is all we care about. Let's just camp ourselves in here, wait for the respawn, and here it comes. GoBlack picks up some boots of travel, and yeah, forced to start massing sentry wards with Gem taken out of the picture. Not the ideal option, especially when Redemption can clear these out using the Gem from Queen of Pain. So take out the sentry wards, and Slark can get a lot done in a team fight with this Shadow Blade.
Roshan has fallen
But
to
an
the
Aegis, Gyrocopter, Na'Vi, they're just going to 5-man with those sentries, and make it very difficult for Redemption here.
Cheese goes to Dendy, and the Aegis will go to Havost.
There's a Blink Echo Slam.
Oh, Dunk to set it up.
Great
Almost, he
ult.
won't be able to charge in, but Lance, he gets graved right away. Scream comes out, not going to do too much.
That
Sonic
ult.
Wave. All right, Na'Vi, they're in pretty good shape here. Another nice fissure. Phobos in the front lines. Axe in a lot of trouble. He'll get bashed. He'll get brought down. Hem and Rubik dead. Rubik the only one with a buyback of the two. Now they go into the bottom tier 3 tower. No glyphs, still Aegis and Cheese in tow. There's your buyback on the Rubik.
This is it. This is the last hurrah for Redemption. They've got to find a way through this. 10 seconds till Sonic Wave. That's probably when they're going to go in. They need that burst damage if they want to stand a chance. Probably going to try burst down Dendy before he can pop the cheese. If they can burst him in a Hex chain stun, but that's going to be difficult to do.
Stolen Missile gets taken out. Na'Vi just want the structures. They've taken out the ranged barracks. Now Lance forced back to the well. Dazzle goes down to a couple of crits.
It's going to be Mega Creeps. They've already lost the top range racks as well. This is looking all over for Redemption. Na'Vi looking like they'll make it through to the round 3 of the lower bracket here.
And with the Mega Creeps out, it may be an anticlimactic finish, but Na'Vi feeling good. Lance goes in for the one last stand, doing a lot of damage to Havost. He'll bring down the Aegis, but that's about all. He's popped his BKB, looking for Yol. He'll go into the Shadow thing, and he's not going to be killable. Lance going back to the well. Oh, he might be going down the Death Ward. Not quite enough damage.
No detection.
He'll live, but tier 4 tower's not going to be so lucky. The throne's exposed, and this should be the GG push from Na'Vi. Not quite yet, though. Zhang Zai comes out. Lance as well. Sonic Wave connects on quite a few, but Lance is dead. Zhang Zai as well. GG is called. Na'Vi move on to the next round, and Redemption's run stops here.
Well, Na'Vi going to be taking on Ninjas in Pajamas tomorrow. They end day 2 of the Major All-Stars with a big win to keep themselves in the tournament. And, well, hats off to Redemption. They put up a good fight. They caused an upset, but Na'Vi in a best of 3, a very tough opponent.
They put up a very good fight in D game. Both these games make Na'Vi work for it, stretch it out quite long, and show that, well, maybe they can redeem themselves after all. A noble effort.
Well, it's been a fun, long day 2 of Dota games. We actually got our good fair share of games today, so big thanks to everyone who showed up here in Malaysia at the live event. Fantastic way to lead into the final day tomorrow. We got Championship Sunday ahead of us.
Oof. Now that's something.